Well, good afternoon, everyone. I know it's getting late there, but I'm happy to present you this material, and I kind of wish I could have joined you in person. And I'm looking forward maybe to next year having that opportunity. My name is Mike Ching. I support the Space Technology Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters in Washington, D.C. And today I'd like to tell you a little bit about a couple of organizations that we're utilizing in the Space Technology Mission Directorate. Um, I want to start off with a dad joke first. They seem to be popular lately. Um, so my question is, what is an astronaut's favorite key on the keyboard? If anybody knows, it's the space bar. Okay, so I would also like to thank my colleagues for, Dr. Kristen John would normally be presenting this, but she is enjoying a vacation elsewhere in Europe right now. But my other co-authors are Kevin Somerville, Nikki Werkheiser, Ariana Sanchez, Brian Troutman, and Stephanie Payne. Actually fitting that I'm following on with Carl, because actually Carl's one of our colleagues that supports us in the Lunar Surface Innovation Consortium, and that's one of the main things I'll be talking about today. I'll start off with LSII, the Lunar Surface Innovative Initiative. There's an organization that was established in the Space Technology Mission Directorate, and the LSIC, the Lunar Surface Innovation Consortium, was actually initiated in 2019 with the goal of working across industry, academia, and government through in-house efforts and public-private partnerships to develop transformative capabilities for lunar surface technologies and exploration. Um, One of the things that the key objectives of the LSII are to formulate and integrate technology maturation activities. We look across the TRL pipelines. So we do work across the Space Technology Mission Directorate, as well as working with our other stakeholders, the other mission directorates, which is the Exploration Systems Development Mission Directorate and Science Mission Directorate. Importantly, we must be able to utilize uncrewed surface flight opportunities. So we also work with SMD's commercial lunar payload services to do technology development and demonstrations. We leverage innovative partnering and procurement approaches to expedite and speed up our technology development and to plug into the Artemis campaign plan. And we also discuss how to establish lunar surface um, participation, development participation with academia, industry, nonprofits, and other government agencies. So we have engaged the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory to support LSII in a couple different ways. They are a U.S. University affiliated research center, so they can provide some unique services to the government. They are a trusted agent that supplies us with system integration support. For example, we work with subject matter expertise that they have on lunar surface systems and technologies, such as Carl. They help conduct analyses and other engineering support for us to address acquisition, operations, and technical development for lunar surface systems. They help us with strategic planning and technology road mapping. In addition, they administer the consortium itself, the LSIC. And again, which I mentioned is an alliance of universities, commercial companies, and nonprofit research institutions. We also have a number of international individuals that participate quite a bit. The LSIC makes recommendations to NASA on cohesive executable strategies for lunar surface exploration and technology development. And they're a great resource for gathering information from the community, providing us with analysis from many different perspectives. Again, industry and academia and nonprofits have different processes and different perspectives. And so that provides a lot of valuable diversity in the information and feedback that we can get on developing surface technologies and developing things like interoperability and different interfaces. Here's an overview of the four main functions that the LSIC provides with us. They do networking for the community. That's both within the community and with NASA. They also help us, as I mentioned, identify our lunar surface technology gaps, what the needs are, and strategies for meeting those needs and different technologies that can close those technology gaps. And it's a great resource. The community is combined to really provide lessons learned and information from their perspectives, and it's a valuable resource. So we have established some products that help facilitate that collaboration. And one of the things that the community does, the way it structures, we have over 3,000 active participants, 900 organizations across all 50 states, including Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and other territories. We have 72 countries that have participated, and this is on a monthly basis. And you can see the breakout of the sectors that comprise the membership of the LSIC. It's also a forum for feedback to NASA, as I mentioned, and also a forum for us to communicate our intents, our plans, our architectures, and our needs. And we can involve the community in integrating our systems and our needs. We have special meetings and focus groups looking at interoperability. We provide funding opportunities, and on a monthly basis, we talk about upcoming funding opportunities that are in NASA and other areas, and we foster collaboration across the membership. Sorry about that. So as I mentioned, we do a gap analysis every year. APL helps us do that, where we can meet with the community and compare what our goals are for developing lunar surface infrastructure and what technologies we need and what the gaps are that need to be developed to meet those goals. We also provide a resource from the community, as I mentioned, a combined resource that where we can put archives of documents and reports and newsletters of the workshops that we've conducted. We have employment opportunities advertised through the consortium, and we have facilities directory as well. And I'll go into a little more about some of the different resources in a future slide here. But let me get into how the LSIC is actually structured. We used to have 6 focus areas. Right now, we have restructured. We have aligned 3 of our focus groups with the foundational technologies that align with the Moon to Mars Blueprint objectives. So those key areas are in situ resource utilization, excavation and construction, so that we can look at what kinds of facilities need to be established for a sustainable presence on the moon. Of course, everything starts with surface power. You can't do much on the moon and have a sustainable presence without a scalable surface power system. And so the focus group on surface power concentrates on recommendations for us on how to develop, rapidly develop and deploy scalable systems. So that's been a great resource. Also, if we want to have a sustainable presence, we need to utilize the resources on the surface of the moon if we want to have it in an affordable way. And so we do have a focus group for that area as well. Finally, there are 3 previous focus groups that we had that were independent. We had dust mitigation, extreme access, and extreme environments. It turns out that those really touched all the other infrastructure areas. So we have recently, as of this year, restructured and rebalanced the LSIC so that we combine those into a cross-cutting capabilities focus group. And we have revised how they interact with the rest of the consortium so that they're providing much more integrated functions. So you can see here that we have not lost the focus on things like extreme environments, dust mitigation, and extreme access. Those still exist. We don't want to lose all of the work that we've done in the last almost 4 years now. So we still conduct a lot of workshops and collaboration in those areas, as well as interoperability and lunar simulants. The way that we've changed how we're doing business is that the cross-cutting capabilities focus group does not have monthly meetings like the other focus groups. The other focus groups meet every month, and the cross-cutting focus groups often meeting jointly with them. And when we develop workshops that are specifically focused on E&C or surface power or ISRU, you'll see that they plan those jointly with
Mike,
the
you have 2
cross-cutting.
minutes.
Okay, thank you. With the cross-cutting group, and so you'll see topics dealing with interoperability or how to develop these systems in extreme environments, or what simulators need to be used. So here's some of the products and resources that LSIC has to offer. Again, we cover what the future funding opportunities are in NASA and how to engage with them. We have bi-monthly newsletters. We have simulant databases and surveys. We have a who's who directory. We also have a testing facilities directory, a portal with access to space where various companies can actually put their own entries in if they have missions coming up with available payload space. And we actually have a lunar environment or Lunar Engineering 101 set of videos coming up soon that are a valuable resource and points to more detailed information on the lunar environment and the technologies that may be available. So here's how to engage. We do have biannual meetings. Our spring meeting is usually at the Johns Hopkins APL, and our fall meeting is held at volunteer sponsor organizations. I don't believe we publicly announced where the next one's going to be, so I don't think I can reveal that. We've had 15 thematic workshops over the last 4 years. As I mentioned, we have a confluence, a wiki confluence, where the 6 focus areas and conduct a lot of detailed discussions and have discussion threads. And so I'm just closing out with showing a few upcoming events. It looks like some of those are actually yesterday and today. So I'm open for questions if there's any time.
Thank you, Mike. We can have 1 or 2 questions. We have one question.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, it's Carl. Since no one else is asking a question,
okay,
I'm going to put you on the spot. Nice talk, but what is the big challenge that LSI is facing over this next year, or just say over FY25? What's a big thing we got to accomplish?
Oh, as always, budget is a challenge, balancing our priorities. At our last meeting, which was extremely successful, by the way, our spring meeting had about twice the attendance that we've ever had. It was very popular. But one of the things that our new directorate, associate directorate, Spuds Vogel, presented was a survey on shortfalls. And so we are reorganizing how to address the shortfalls that we have in technology development. And this is going to facilitate our LSII job quite a bit because it'll this survey on the shortfalls went out to everyone, open to the public. So we had both an internal NASA and an external survey where other stakeholders, including our stakeholders in Washington, D.C., could contribute to what they thought were the important shortfalls. And so we are in the process of reorganizing to be able to focus directly on those shortfalls.